So by now, the San Francisco 49ers have relieved. I don't even know if we can say fired because from everything that we are hearing, it actually still sounds like Nick Sorensen is going to be a part of this defense. He's just not going to be the defensive coordinator. It sounded like the 49ers last year had multiple options that they wanted. I mean, we heard Kyle Shanahan reach out to Bill Belichick about the job. Maybe the guys that they wanted, it just ultimately didn't work out. We know they tried to reach out to Ulbrich. That got blocked by Saleh. And they just didn't really feel like they had an option. They had an internal elevation, and maybe it just comes down to the fact Nick Sorensen wasn't ready for it, wasn't prepared for it in the sense of, just that's a big job. It's a big task and it's a big responsibility. And maybe it was just a little too much. So what the question that we're going to be talking about and what I want to hear from you about is who is going to be the next 49ers defensive coordinator. There are definitely options out there based on kind of the initial reaction on live. Already got a good idea of what the fan base is thinking, but I'm curious to see you guys expand further on this in the comments below because I think there's a couple school of thoughts. We know that the 49ers have this thought process of being able to keep the structure of their defense intact. The wide nine, Crisco Surik, Johnny Holland, linebackers coach, Bullocks, DBs. It sounds like Staley's kind of a DB coach now. I'm not really sure. Um, but they're trying to keep the core group together, right? And they're trying to get a DC to drop in there that can already execute a defense based on the structure that's already been built. So we saw them try to do that with Steve Wilkes, didn't work. Try to see them do that with an internal hire on Sorensen. While everyone likes Sorensen, I don't think it worked to the ability that they wanted it to. And so now that puts them on the hunt. So do they go with like a Jeff Ulbrich, who I actually thought had been fired now, but I guess according to Barrows, he's still under contract. But he still seems like a very, very attractive option considering he's clearly been with Robert Saleh, who had built that foundation that we've been talking about. So it seems like it would make sense to drop him into there. I mean, former 49ers linebacker. He's a 49er guy for sure. And to be able to put him into that defense, it seems like it'd be a pretty seamless transition. So I think that is an option. Some people have floated some names like Rex Ryan, Antonio Pierce. The name that I don't even think, and again, you could tell me if I'm wrong. I don't believe in Jim Schwartz is actually even available, but he's a name that keeps popping up. If it were up to me, I would seriously consider Schwartz for the simple fact that he has given Kyle Shanahan a lot of trouble over the years. And considering the fact that he's been with Stefanski, who runs kind of an offshoot of that, Shanahan McVay tree kind of scheme, I want Kyle to get with a DC who understands how to make life harder on an offense like Kyle's. I want to get those two in the same room and like just figuring it out. How do we learn about the defensive scheme? How can they make each other better? Iron sharpens iron. And when we go out to training camp, we know it's one versus ones. Would love to see that battle for an entire training camp leading up to the regular season. I think that makes everyone better. I don't know if that's even a possibility, but I like that idea. I like bringing in someone who has made it very challenging on Kyle Shanahan. Obviously, it would be great to have Spagnuolo. I don't think that's going to happen. But you have guys like Gus Bradley, who was just let go today up from the Colts. He is kind of known best for the 4-3 kind of cover three shell look from offshoot from Seattle that he was kind of a part of with the Legion of Boom and all that stuff. So it makes it seem like that could be a potential fit. I don't know, maybe DeForest Buckner tie in there. Some people have mentioned Matt Eberflus as a potential option. To be honest, I don't know a whole lot about Matt Eberflus. From a defensive coordinator perspective, obviously he was able to be a good enough one to be able to earn a head coaching job. We just know that the head coaching element to it didn't work out as planned. So I guess the question is, what what do the 49ers do, and where do they go, and what makes the most sense? Someone in the chat had mentioned that they kind of want to see a Brian Flores type defense, an attacking style, an aggressive style, and I agreed with that. Um, for whatever reason, that type of scheme, the Spagnuolo scheme, the Flores scheme, has given the 49ers a lot of trouble, and I've admired watching it on film. So it would be phenomenal to be able to see just like an attacking defense running all different kinds of stunts and loops and misdirections, pre snap, rolling to post snap, like all these different types of looks that make it really challenging on an offense because you make it look like one thing and it's completely other. And that slows down the process and it allows you to catch guys in a bad spot. So I like that idea too. I don't know if anyone out there exists, but that's why I'm looking to you guys. So you guys let me know who you think should be considered to be this take over this defensive coordinator job. Who does that look like? Who should it be, and what would be your number one choice? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.